It's rare to see a rugby player capture the world's attention with such raw power, such blinding speed, and unmistakable impact, only to fade from view, then return faster, smarter, and more dangerous than ever. That's the story of Caleb Clarke. And if you thought his time in the spotlight was over, think again, because this All Blacks wrecking ball has just signed a new deal through to 2027, and he's coming for everything. Born in Auckland on March 29th, 1999, Caleb Clarke wasn't just another kid with a rugby ball in hand. He was born into the game. His father, Ronnie Clarke, wore the black jersey with pride during the 1990s, known for his physicality and skill set at centre. But Caleb never treated that legacy like a burden. From an early age, he made it clear that he wasn't just continuing the Clarke family name. He was redefining it. Anyone who watched him play for Mount Albert Grammar School knew he was special. There was a ferocity in his carries, a hunger in his runs that couldn't be taught. He wasn't trying to be the next anyone, he was trying to be the first Caleb Clarke. Fast forward a few years, and by the time Clarke made his debut for the Blues in Super Rugby, that early promise was already evolving into something truly frightening. Tall, muscular, and devastating in open space, Clarke became a fan favourite almost overnight. And when he got his shot at the All Blacks in 2020, he didn't just take it, he detonated it. His breakout game against Australia was one for the ages, bulldozing through defenders, brushing off tackles like they were paper, and covering ground like a sprinter. Clarke announced himself to the world. He looked like a modern-day Jonah Lomu. Every time he touched the ball, people held their breath. It was the kind of entrance few players ever make. The sky wasn't the limit, it was just the starting point. But rugby, like life, doesn't follow a perfect script. By 2022, things began to shift. The brilliance was still there, but it wasn't shining as brightly. Clarke had added bulk in an attempt to become even more dominant, but it came at a cost. At 112 kgs, his acceleration dulled. His ability to change direction and maintain endurance over 80 minutes diminished. In the high-octane world of international rugby, those fractions of seconds and metres matter. Suddenly, other wingers were being favoured. Younger, faster, more complete options began to emerge. The All Blacks needed consistency, and Clarke was struggling to provide it. His minutes were slashed, his confidence took a hit, and the critics grew louder. And then came the 2023 Rugby World Cup, a tournament Clarke was once destined to own. Instead, he was a passenger. 2 appearances, limited impact. For a man once seen as the next great hope on the wing, it felt like a cruel twist. But here's the thing about Caleb Clarke. He doesn't fold. He retools. After the World Cup, Clarke went quiet, but not idle. While others speculated about his form, his future, and his flaws, he got to work. He took a long, hard look at his game and decided to start over. Not from scratch, but from purpose. The first step was dropping the excess weight. 5 kilograms came off, but it wasn't just about trimming down. It was about rediscovering the athlete underneath. The one who terrorised defences with every touch. Then the skill work. Clarke wasn't satisfied just being a battering ram. He wanted to become a complete winger. Smart, reliable, and lethal. To do that, he looked outside the box. He trained with the South Sydney Rabbitohs in the NRL, picking up lead tricks that traditional union training wouldn't offer. High ball work, defensive reads, agility drills under pressure. It was about refining the rawness, about turning chaos into control. When the 2023 Super Rugby Pacific season began, fans weren't sure what version of Clarke they'd get. But it didn't take long to find out. The new Caleb Clarke didn't just return, he exploded. His carries were more precise, his breaks were more clinical. He wasn't just running over people anymore, he was running past them. His line breaks were devastating, his finishing ruthless. And the most telling of it all, his work rate had skyrocketed. He chased kicks, supported breaks, covered on defence. He looked like a man who had something to prove, and every game he proved it. The numbers backed it all up. Most metres carried in the comp, most clean breaks, a top 5 try scorer. But numbers alone don't capture the feeling. The feeling when Clarke catches the ball on the edge and the crowd rises in anticipation. The feeling when defenders hesitate, because they know if they get the angle wrong, it's all over. That energy, that fear factor, that had returned. And so did the black jersey. Scott Robinson, newly at the helm of the All Blacks, didn't waste time. He brought Clarke back into the squad, not as a bench option, as a starter. Clarke didn't just repay the faith, he turned it into gold. Against South Africa, he scored twice. He made meters against England where there were none to be made. He looked sharper, more complete, more dangerous than ever before. The smile was back, so was the swagger. But this time, it came with substance. Then, as rumours swirled about overseas interest, came the announcement that sent a message. Caleb Clarke had re-signed with New Zealand Rugby, the Blues and Auckland through to 2027. In a rugby era where money pulls stars away to Japan, France and beyond, Clarke's choice mattered. He wasn't just backing himself, he was backing the black jersey. He wants to win, he wants legacy, and he wants to do it here. His current playing weight of around 107 kg seems to be the sweet spot. He's retained the power but added back the speed. His explosiveness off the mark has returned. His lateral movement is tighter. Defenders can no longer just push past the sideline and hope for the best. He can cut back in, burn them on the outside, or bump them off like they're in the way. Clarke's aerial work has undergone a complete transformation. Once seen as a liability under the high ball, he's now one of the most reliable wingers in contestable situations. His confidence is visible. He attacks the ball in the air, secures possession under pressure, and isn't fazed by traffic. That's not just physical ability, that's hours of preparation, discipline, and belief. Defensively, the improvement is stark. Early in his career, Clarke's edges reads could be shaky. Now, his timing is better. He tracks the ball, he trusts the inside defenders, and when he connects, he makes it count. He's not just stopping attacks, he's shutting them down with authority. But more than the stat or tackle, the biggest change in Caleb Clarke is internal. It's the maturity, the accountability, the clarity of purpose. After the World Cup disappointment and his dangerous driving incident in early 2024, he didn't hide. He addressed it head on. He acknowledged the mistake. He accepted the consequences, and then he let the actions do the talking. That kind of response speaks volumes. Not just about his professionalism, but about his character. Caleb Clarke has grown up. He's not the teenage sensation anymore. He's a man with a mission. And in a game as brutal and as unforgiving as Test rugby, that mindset is everything. Ever wanted to create your own Rugby Highlights channel just like this one? With my course, the YouTube Creator Toolkit, I show you exactly how I do it. From the tools I use to the templates I built. You get everything. Just copy, paste, and start creating. Learn how to grow your channel, keep viewers hooked, and turn views into income. Click the link in the description below to learn more and start your channel today. Now back to the video. He's not just trying to be a starting winger, he's trying to be the winger. The one that opponents dread. The one that fans adore. One that little kids mimic in their backyards. He wants to be remembered. Not just for the one game or the one season, but for what he built, for what he came back from, and for how he made people feel when he took the field. The rise, fall, and comeback of Caleb Clarke isn't just about rugby. It's about resilience. It's about learning from your lows and trusting your climb. It's about owning your name, rewriting your story, and doing it all in front of a nation that demands nothing less than greatness. And if you thought Caleb Clarke's best days were behind him, think again. Because what's coming next might just be his masterpiece. Thanks for watching, guys. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.